watch the real-life program about exceptional destinies, remarkable opportunities, and unbelievable facts right now.
The steps lead underground about 2 meters below ground level. Having descended them, you find yourself in paradise. Bright greens are everywhere. From here, the plants stretch towards the sun with greater force. Ludmila Zemlyanaya is the owner of a blooming garden. She's an electrical engineer whose passions emit light. She grows exotic plants. You hardly can hear about such plants as myrtle, moriah, and bougainvillea, but here, besides seeing and smelling them, you can even taste them. All of them are my favorites because they're alive. However, people can't always understand this. Although plants can't speak, they can feel and understand everything. Who created the flower garden underground? How does sunlight change into lunar energy? Potted bananas compete with potatoes. It's in a suburb of Uсть-Kamenogorsk in eastern Kazakhstan. Triangular roofs look like pyramids. They capture your attention even when you're a kilometer away. Although it seems there is nothing special about the greenhouse, it's the only one in Kazakhstan like this. It's situated below the ground frost line, which is 1.8 meters in this region, and we constructed the greenhouse 2.2 meters below ground level. It is the reason why all the plants, including lemons, avocados, moriah, coffee, and bananas, can grow in the soil here. This greenhouse is like a thermos, and its walls are a layer cake made of bricks, thermal insulation materials, and clay. Using clay is necessary to prevent floodwater from breaking through the floodgates. The main secret is in the wallpaper of the underground kingdom. It provides the plants with so much light that even potted bananas can grow and give fruit. It's a reflective film which allows photons to travel until they get absorbed by the leaves. It's good that soil gives out warmth in winter and protects from the sun's heat in summer. In general, the greenhouse is like a magical cellar. A toad lived here for a long time. When a dog was barking, it answered. When we were talking on the phone, it tried to say something too. Although they didn't whip cream into butter, they gathered abundant crops. All the products here are natural. They grow celery to buy coal. The expenditure on coal is necessary because it's impossible to live without warmth. We gather cucumber crops here 3 times a year and can get even 2 crops a year of tomatoes. Fig grows quite well in the soil too. It's asserted that cacti encourage aggression, ginger wards off evil spirits, lemons are the best antidepressants, and chlorophytum is the best air cleaning plant. Coffee is a house plant. You can see that it already has beans. We've already had a few cups of coffee made from our coffee beans. Orchids, lianas, ferns, and araucaria sit next to lettuce and figs. Ludmila says that no matter how hard she tried to conduct a population census, her attempts weren't successful. There are approximately over 300 kinds of plants. She only knows that some of them are to be served on the table, some are to be sold at the market, the others are to arouse amateur gardens' envy. Hello. I phoned you. Do you want to go on an excursion? Yes, please. Here you can see a pineapple. It usually starts giving fruit in 4 or 5 years, but ours hasn't given fruit yet. People come to look at this beauty. Until recently, their cat met the visitors, but then he disappeared. According to Ludmila, he was very clever. Our cat was a salesman and accompanied people. The cat went out in front of the others. Sometimes he climbed trees to attack their attention. Once a woman took a plant without permission and his paw dropped as if he wanted to tell her to put it back. He caught mice and did his work properly. Excursions are arranged here as often as thunderstorms break in May, especially when rare plants are blossoming. When we started working, a Ukrainian ambassador, German consul and delegations came from Japan, China and Holland. People came because they're interested in this. The region's leaders, people from the president's office, and various parties' members arrived here and showed their interest. This provides strong moral support.
Аппараты президента приезжали, разные партии приезжали. Интересуются и поддерживают, моральная поддержка хорошая.
This plant, which is called myrtle, helps to support your body. You need to rub it between your fingers and inhale its aroma. Although this plant is from northern Africa, countless legends about it came from the Mediterranean region. Goddess Aphrodite preferred myrtle wreaths to all the others. The magic power of this plant helped her win an argument. Thanks to this, she was recognized as the most beautiful goddess and received an apple from Paris. Since then, myrtle has been considered a symbol of love and beauty. According to Ludmila, it gets to grips with earthly tasks too. Myrtle kills tuberculosis bacilli and cleans the air. One plant is considered to be quite enough for an area of 20 square meters. Bougainvillea is a flowering liana native to Brazil. You can see it near every fence in Cuba, whilst in Usk-Menogorsk it grows only in Ludmila's greenhouse. Here, they adopt a very easy creed, which says that knowledge is light. Later, we learned how to graft them and alter their shape. Gradually, the plants grow. I visit exhibitions and I need some other kinds of bougainvilleas. In cold winters, 3 stokers heat the air to a temperature like in the tropical paradise. Incidentally, the heating season continues for 7 months, where the temperature doesn't rise above 12 degrees. Judging from the abundant blossoms, the owner managed to compensate for the lack of kilojoules with her own warmth. It took 5 years to grow this beauty. In ancient times, Chinese scientists said that if houseplants were lush, it proved that the female energy yin was in a good state. It's lunar energy which provides coziness and warmth in a house. The gardener has pride in her giant lemons. The cuttings were brought from Kiev. This sort is called Kiev lemons, and they are adapted to live in indoor conditions. Ludmila's husband initiated growing them. They planted them in soil and waited until they bore fruit. Every lemon weighs up to 1 kilogram, which is why we need to tie them up. Usk-Menogorsk lemons have become a kind of brand. Gift plants sold by a piece are brought as quickly as hot pies here. It's possible to gather a crop amounting to up to 3,000 kilograms per season. You know, it takes these lemons 9 months to ripen. It's still green and needs about 3 or 4 months to ripen completely. It means they'll ripen in August.
В августе, наверное, он уже будет готов.
You can see how many ovaries have appeared, and we have to tie up every fruit, otherwise it'll break the branch.
Ветку.
The work schedule is irregular here because everything needs care. They have a lot of ideas, but only 2 hands. It's good that Ludmila isn't the only person working here. The members of her family, including her husband, children and grandchildren, help too.
Может быть, это...
Maybe I am the person who helps them. I don't know the correct way of saying it. Anyway, their support is significant, otherwise it would be impossible to manage this business. No man is an island, as the saying goes. The island amounts to almost 1,000 square meters. All the inhabitants there are foreign guests.
Так вот для внуков.
We grow delicious sorts of bananas and tangerines for our grandchildren.
Мандарины, очень вкусные сорта. Вот это вот банан.
These are dwarf bananas. They're like grass and bear fruit only once. However, they provide up to 600 bananas at once. It's a huge bunch.
Они дают сразу вот до 600 бананов. То есть такая большая связка бананов, она вполне, ну, как бы не на один день. Потом...
We also have a small vegetable garden where we grow cucumbers and tomatoes, which are the vegetables eaten on a daily basis.
Что называется насущное.
Everything started with vegetables eaten daily about 7 years ago. Like the other greenhouse owners, they grew cucumbers, lettuce and tomatoes, which were in demand at the market. It was the strict logic of economic reality, while their souls strove after a fairy tale.
Ну и постепенно я...
I gave more and more area to flowers while my husband grew lemons.
Лимоны муж разводил, вот все, что здесь видите.
A lot of plants appeared here thanks to exchanges. All of them have their own history. Some of them grew from plants and root cuttings, and others from seeds. It's a piece of cake for them to take roots. For example, their grandson literally worked on pomegranates. He ate them and spat the seeds out on the ground, and this way the pomegranate tree appeared here. This bay leaf is from their vegetable garden. Fresh bay leaves aren't eaten, and when they're cooked, they're thrown away. Moraya is another exotic plant native to India. It's bearing fruit now. When it was in bloom, it was wrapped in a white shawl. This plant has a lot of healthy benefits. Moraya is also known as the tree of Japanese emperors. The aroma of the flowers calms a person down. 3 or 4 berries eaten a day restore a normal heart rhythm and rejuvenate your body. These plants were grown in total secrecy for a few centuries. If you want them to grow, like your children, you need to love all of them. One child likes semolina porridge, while you have to fry chops for another. The amount of money you have in your wallet depends on the condition of a tree with dark, thick, green leaves. This plant converts desires into possibilities. Well, at least esoteric thinkers claim that this is true, and many people believe them. It's noticeable that a money tree is always in demand, which is why there are many pots. It's time to transplant it. Look at the leaves. It's considered able to bring wealth. You enjoy all the chores related to your favorite occupation. You work from morning till night and admire your growing and blooming plants. Ludmila knows for sure that the plants make her happy. I know how they grow. I transplanted them and took the cuttings myself. I can say that I know every plant just by sight.